You know, guys, when we look over a financial document such as an income statement, we see something called gross profit. What is gross profit, and what does it tell us about a company? Well, let's get into this. Gross profit is very simple. It's the total revenue minus the cost of revenue. Gives us gross profit. It's a number. Now, I know that seems very simple because it is, but let's look at a little illustration so that we can understand it a little more and understand its uses. So right now we're looking at the company Tesla, and we're on their income statement. And looking at the income statement, we see first that the numbers are in thousands and that there's two documents, the annual statement and the quarterly statement. These numbers are different. Right now we're looking at the annual statement. Now underneath the cost of revenue, we have gross profit, the gross profit of Tesla. Looking at this gross profit, we see that Tesla's gross profit is $4 billion because numbers are in thousands. Now, if you saw my cost of revenues video, I told you at the end that gross profit was a very important number. And the reason why is because we can use it in a formula in order to figure out something called the gross margin. This is a very important formula. So gross margin is the gross profit over the total revenue. Okay? Once we do that, we're going to get a number. So why is this number so important? Well, imagine that you had to choose between two companies that were very, very similar. Let's say Tesla and Toyota. So the gross profit margin of Tesla is somewhere around 0.19. Now let's look at the gross profit margin of a company like Toyota. Toyota's ticker symbol is TM. So let's go to Toyota. Now looking at Toyota, we see that here's their gross profit, but wait, we need to remember something. Toyota is not a US company, so their currency is not in US dollars. It's in JPYs, and all these numbers are in thousands. So let's not worry so much about the price because we're focusing more on the ratio, okay? The gross profit margin. So remember, Tesla's gross profit margin was 0.25. What is Toyota's gross profit margin? Basically, if we put 5 over 29, we'll get the number. So let's do that. 5 over 29 gets us a number of 0.17. So Tesla's gross profit margin was 0.19. But Toyota's gross profit margin is 0.17. What does that tell us? Well, that tells us that Tesla is able to spend more money on things like marketing, sales, research and design, etc. Also, it tells us that if Tesla wanted to, they could lower the price of their vehicles and still make money. On the other hand, companies like Toyota Motors, if they had to lower the cost of their product, it would be very difficult for them to make a profit because they're barely making a profit. And it's important when we're looking at gross profit margin to compare the gross profit margin of one company to a similar company, not to compare one company's gross profit margin to a company that's completely different than it. But at the end of the day, the higher the gross profit margin, the more wiggle room or cushion the company has. And it also gives the company the ability to lower the cost of their products if a recession hits or if customers demand of them. So that's the revenue section of an income statement. Next, we'll go into the operating expenses of an income statement. I'll see you over there.